Alright, what's up everybody? So, Ubisoft just ended their pressing thing at E3. I was about to say depressing. But you know what? Kinda, but did I really have that much of expectations when it came to Ubisoft? You know, the past few years, Ubisoft shows have not really been like a high mark. They've kind of been like letdowns in a lot of ways. So I don't really go into them with a lot of expectations. But yeah, their show happened. Let me mute this. Their show happened. Okay. So they showed some things off. They actually showed a good amount of stuff in the pre-show. They announced that there's going to be a TMNT collaboration with Brawlhalla. They're going to be in the game pretty soon. They started off with Rainbow Six Extraction. It's going to be the new Rainbow Six game. They showed it off a few years ago. They only showed like a little teaser. Just said, yeah, it's still early in development, so we'll have more to show later on. So we got the trailer. We got the release date as well. It's coming out September. Oh, I just screwed it up. You know, I'm doing it like the old days, like I used to do it, where I just scroll through the video. You know, it's not professional. You know, I could have edited this together, but you know what? Screw professionalism. This is Gamingwithclass. You come here for torn down videos and gritty experiences. It's coming out September 16th. It's going to be on everything. Everything. See Stadia? It's going to be on Stadia. And then they went through with like about a 4 or 5 minute gameplay reveal for the game, showing the gameplay off. And it's kind of what you expect of Rainbow Six. It seems definitely more... it's probably still going to have the team-based mechanics of the series, but it definitely is going in a much different aspect, since now it's kind of focused on this infection and kind of these zombies and monsters, and kind of the objective is to kind of take out these sections in the horde, kind of those little things right there. And there's different enemy types. So you have like the ones that explode, you have your regular monsters, your bigger ones, and so on. So it's kind of like what you'd expect of like a regular zombie type game. Like what I thought of it, it's like, you know, it's okay. I think for me, I prefer more of the Rainbow Six games that are more based in reality. Like, I love Rainbow Six Vegas. Vegas 1 and 2 are great games. I put hours into those games. They're really good. But this wasn't really, it's fine. I might check it out some point down the line, but it's not one that I'm, like, really running to. So, they showed that. They talked a bit more about it. Then they went into their next thing, Rocksmith Plus. We're going to get a brand new game in the Rocksmith series. Said it expanded out now, so now you have to have an amp. You don't have to have like the little adapter, so you can just play with the speaker on your phone. So that's what I think is cool. Like, you know, Rocksmith's a cool game. I didn't put too much time into it, but from the little bit I did play, it was pretty cool. You know, even though it's like, I love rhythm games, but I can't even say it's a rhythm game because, you know, it's really a learning tool. You can learn how to play guitar in this thing. You can learn how to play bass, and it's a full-on, like, instruction tool, but gamified. So it's pretty nice. Like, I think the new updates they add to it, like the thing of just, you can just have an amp hooked up to it, and you can play there, and you're good. Like, I'm curious how that works. Now it's going to be integrated. But, you know, I'm there. Now, am I going to be able to stream any of this game? No. In fact, hell no. Because how this DMCA stuff's been going. But, you know what? I'll be happy to play it on my own time. It should be pretty cool in that regard. So, yeah, Rocksmith Plus, they announced that. Went into kind of more of how it's going to be expanded. They're going to have the tablature. They're going to have different things for beginners and all that. Like, that stuff sounds good. Like, you know, if you played Rocksmith, the original, definitely seems like an upgrade. If you have not played it, then it's also there. They also went back into Riders Republic. We saw this last year. A little bit of a trailer. And, you know, it's still just as cool as I saw last year. Honestly, this game looks pretty dope. It's kind of like an expansion of Steep, the game they released a few years ago, where it was just snowboarding and just like pretty much just snow sports. But now it's like BMX. You can do wingsuits. You got snowboards. You got bikes. it so much. Like, it looks like it's gonna be a pretty wild game. Which, you know, Transition. Where is Wild at? If you don't recall, Wild was a Ubisoft game. They revealed quite a few years back, and we've only seen like 2 things on it. It was a pretty sick looking game. It was like you're this guy, you controlled animals, and you were riding a bear. It's lost somewhere. I don't know where it is. But yeah, it's coming out September 2nd for this game for riders. Should be pretty cool. I might check it out at some point. Probably not on release. They also talked about Rainbow Six Siege is going to still be updated. You know, Rainbow Six Siege is still a pretty big game for them. They still have a huge tournament scene there, and the community is still really strong. So just talked about some more Rainbow Six Siege stuff coming. And just that they're going to have updates to a lot of their live games. So Brawlhalla, obviously, like I mentioned earlier, has a TMNT collaboration. Trackmania is getting some new stuff. For Honor's getting new stuff. Watch Dogs is also getting something new. It's getting a new expansion for Watch Dogs Legion with Aiden Pierce from the first game and one of the characters from Watch Dogs 2 as well. Oh yeah, and the Crew 2, which watching I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about the Crew 2. I forgot that was a game. But yeah, Crew 2. So for those games, got an update. And of course, you know, it wouldn't be Ubisoft without Just Dance, you know. There's always going to be Just Dance. It's probably the only thing that's keeping Ubisoft afloat these days. They make so much money off the Just Dance series. Despite the Wii version now being gone, now the Switch version is going to stand tall. But yeah, there's Just Dance. You know, they're going to make their money. They got to get their stuff. Then they transition into Assassin's Creed Valhalla. You know, they're still working on this game. Appears to be a lot of DLC coming to it. Like they're going all in on it. Like, I'm not surprised that the game came out in November, so like this would be the normal time of like a DLC coming out and all that. But you know, it seems like they're keeping that game updated. It seems people are checking for it. I haven't played it yet. Don't know when I will, but it's there. It's an Assassin's Creed game. And then they moved into like TV stuff. They talked about that Rob McGinnell-Henney show, the game studio one that they showed off 2 years ago at Ubisoft show. Just showing like, oh yeah, season 3's coming. And then they talked about, showed off a trailer for Werewolves Within. So if you remember, there's that VR Ubisoft game that came out like right in the cusp of PSVR. It's the one where it's like 4 players, somebody's a werewolf, and you have to deduce from one of the players who they are based off clues you give. So they made a movie off of that. And it's just like, okay, I guess. It's not surprising that they're going to show movie stuff, because Ubisoft also showed like Prince of Persia footage during one of their shows. They showed Assassin's Creed trailer and like stopped the show to talk about it for like 8 minutes. The only thing I didn't like about this is that there was some quote, some guy was like, the best video game adaptation so far. And it's like, best? Easily the best video game adaptation yet. Who was that? Who wrote that quote? You know, I don't even care enough to look. Like oh, best video game adaptation. But yeah, after that awful quote, we moved into Far Cry 6. They showed a lengthy cutscene of the game, kind of setting up the character, setting up villain. Looks great. Like, it's been a long time since the Far Cry game has really interested me, and 6 seems to be doing a really good job with that, because I really want to pick this game up. It looks like it's going to be good. You know, Giancarlo Esposito looks, he's doing great so far as the role, so I'm all there on it. I'm there. They also showed off this too. So it's going to be a DLC for Far Cry 6 where you're going to play as the villains from Far Cry 3, 4, 5. So obviously our boy Voss is back, the best villain of the Far Cry series, and the villain that they keep trying to recreate, and he just can't get that same magic. So it looks to be like a blood magic type thing, if you remember that game. But also, speaking of that game, we are also getting a Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon remaster as well. So For those who missed out on that game, you'll be able to play it. I recommend it. It's really good. And after that, they went into skip like the whole thing. Oh yeah, Mario Rabbids is back, which funny enough, Nintendo leaked it earlier. Like apparently Nintendo's site, they're like Mario Rabbids available for pre-order, and it's like, oh, we got a sequel coming. I figured as much so because Grant Kirkhope was posting stuff back in February that he was working with the director of this game, so I figured, all right, they're doing a sequel. But it's just funny. Mario Rabbids always keep like this game always gets leaked. I remember when the first game, before it came out, like a month before, an image popped up online of like Mario Rabbids, and it's like, oh, that's a real leak. Like that's too high quality to be a fan edit. So it got leaked back then, and it got leaked today on the same time they revealed the sequel. But either way, it's coming out next year. It looks really good. When they showed the gameplay on it, it looks like it still has some of the tactical stuff there, but it looks like now it's more like real time where you're not going off turns. So I'd be curious to see how it is in this new one, but I'm there. Honestly, Mario Rabbids was a good game. It was such a shock because I really didn't want to like that game. But I was like, wow, this actually is pretty fun. So yeah, Mario Rabbids, that was the reveal. Then they had Eves come out and reveal, all right, we got a new engine, an updated version of our engine, and we got a new game coming. And I was like, all right, this engine is looking pretty nice. It's like, that's some good looking grass. It's good looking lighting. And then I started dying right here. Avatar. So we are getting a brand new Avatar game. Now I will say, graphically, looks really good. It's a very good looking game. Even just in its early stages, it looks really good. And you know, it might be a good game too, but I'm not gonna lie, I was laughing pretty hard when that Avatar reveal hit. Just like, wow, Avatar. We haven't gotten the sequel yet, and we're already getting games. We're never gonna get Avatar 2. Like that movie's never coming out. But yeah, got a little tease of the Avatar game. Apparently it's gonna be a first-person game. There's not too much else for it. Like there's no release on it, just coming out. You know, it might be fine. But yeah, after that was pretty much Ubisoft's show. Honestly, yeah, not too much they showed off. You know, a lot of stuff we did know. Mario Rabbids was a surprise. The Avatar game was a surprise. Everything else we kind of figured, like, okay, they're going to talk about the live games. They're going to show off this. They're going to show off that. I will say, unfortunately, though, to a lot of people's disappointment, but, you know, I kind of expected it. No Rayman, which that's why I'm playing Rayman 2 music. You know, Rayman's still out of the count. But you know what? Someday he'll come back. Also, Splinter Cell still up in the air somewhere. I don't know where he's at. But yeah, that was about it. You know what? Not really Ubisoft's strongest presentation, I'll say. Not really that strong. Like, it's just like, it was an okay presentation. Nothing really to write home about. Like I said, Mario Rabbids was cool. The Riders game right here, Riders Republic, that was nice. Avatar looks nice, but I haven't seen gameplay on it. Far Cry 6, you know, that was probably, in terms of a game that's coming out soon, that's probably, like, that and Mario are probably the strongest two things here. But, yeah, you know, it's Ubisoft. They're kind of middle of the road now, which sucks. Ubisoft used to be really good, but they've been kind of having some off years for now. But, yeah, I'm going to end it there for the Ubisoft kind of recap for their show. Next up on the docket, well, there is Devolver Digital. It's actually going on right now, but I'm just going to check that out later on, like, on my own. I might just only read the highlights of it, to be honest. We have Microsoft up next. So that should be a pretty good one. It's going to be Microsoft Bethesda. It's going to be a big conference, and I might need some help with it, so we'll see how things go. But yeah, I'm going to end it off right here, so I will see you next as the E3 series continues on. R.I.P. Rayman.